Hello there everybody, it is me XfreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're doing this winter themed build here in the Yukimatsu district of Mount Komorebi, and I figured, you know what, why not do a festive holiday themed build for the holiday season, because I'm really feeling that festive vibe. I don't know about you guys, but I really love Christmas. It's probably my favorite holiday ever. So we are building this mountain lodge. This is a pretty big house. It's got 4 bedrooms, it's got a lot of amenities, it's got a pool, it's got a sauna. You'll all get to see that as we get into the furnishing part of this build in the next video, because this is a 2-part speed build. So yeah, this build is quite elaborate, so I did have to split it into 2 parts. Hopefully I can finish part 2 in a couple of days. I can't really promise I'm gonna finish it this year because I am planning to spend the holidays with my family, so yeah, sorry about that if you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, I really wanted to get this video up before Christmas, so I am pre-recording this actually, so this should be up around Christmas Eve. So yeah, before I go any further, I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I am quite relieved to finally get 2021 behind me, but at the same time I'm a bit scared to see what 2022 actually holds. But I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're all having an amazing holiday season. I am definitely planning to take some time off and just enjoying myself, and like I said, spending time with my family. So yeah, I'm curious, how do you guys usually spend your holidays? Personally, holidays is a pretty busy time for me, but obviously because of travel restrictions and all of that, I couldn't really do much. So yeah, I'm gonna be spending most of my time at home, just binging Netflix shows and watching documentaries. Thankfully, there's quite a lot of really good shows right now to binge, like The Witcher. I love that. I'm also planning to watch Emily in Paris at some point, so yeah. Anyway, this build is definitely a pretty good follow-up to the mountain home build I did a couple of months back. Oh sorry, it was the modern lake house build I did a couple of months back actually. It's basically the same house, like it has the same features, but this one is actually a lot bigger because it has like the basement area. But yeah, I'm using the same techniques basically. You guys can see I am using the tool mod to make this really big lodge type window. I believe it's called a prow window if I'm not mistaken. Though I feel like a prow window is more of like an angle shape. This one is definitely just more of like a floor to ceiling window that matches the shape of this gable roof, but whatever. Some of you guys who are more knowledgeable about this style can probably let me know about that in the comments. But I'm really happy about this build, though it did take me such a long time to finish because it was so detailed, but I'm really happy with how it all came together. Once again, this is still a work in progress, so I haven't actually finished furnishing this, so I don't really know what the end result is gonna look like, but this video is gonna cover the part where I do the exterior as well as the terrain manipulation and landscaping. And all of that took me a pretty good maybe 10 hours or so, just because of the amount of detail that I actually have in this build, which was actually crazy. That tends to be a thing I noticed that happens quite a lot in a lot of my recent builds, unfortunately for me, because it's gonna take a lot more time to film and edit, but at the same time, this is also part of my enjoyment for the game and for what I'm building, is just being able to do whatever idea I can think of and just basically have fun with the endless possibilities that the tool mod gives me in the game. I have said this so many times before, but the tool mod has single-handedly revitalized my love for building in The Sims 4, because at some points building in The Sims 4 did get quite stale, but luckily thanks to the tool mod I can do a lot of these amazing tricks that would have been possible with just the regular vanilla game. But yeah, the house itself is pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. This would be a pretty sick vacation home, and I do see this as more of a vacation home rather than like a normal regular house, even though you can technically live in here as well. I do struggle with finding some affordable vacation homes in Mount Komorebi, so I might do like a budget, you know, rental for this area. But you know, this time I really wanted to just, you know, flex a little bit, I guess, and show you guys some more technical, complex stuff, which is something that I tend to like to do. I do tend to gravitate towards more complicated builds. I don't actually know why, but I really enjoy that whole process. It feels like a puzzle. I don't know why. It feels like I'm solving like a puzzle, and it's great once you've seen everything really come together. It's really satisfying. This is one of my favorite aspects of this build. I figured out how to make this amazing like beam slash truss detail. So you see this all the time in buildings like this, basically these like exposed beams. And I was able to do this one using the chairs that look like logs that came with Outdoor Retreat, and I was like, okay, I can think of so many possibilities now to use these items, and I'm glad that they work with the tool mod, because as you can see, they look so good. And yeah, I was having some trouble placing them, so I had to move them to a different location just to make my life easier. This is a technique I call prefabricating, which is basically like building something away from where it's actually supposed to go because it's easier, and because of the room tool in The Sims 4, you can easily just copy and paste it, which is amazing. And that's exactly what you can see me doing right here, and I'm really glad about this detail actually. Usually when it comes to these kinds of truss details, I use the debug like wood pieces, which never really look right. I think this looks so much better. So I did spend quite a lot of time with these truss details, and I will be copying and pasting them all throughout this build as well, so you will be seeing them quite a bit. But yeah, I am actually curious to know what you guys are planning to do for the holidays. Is any one of you guys watching The Witcher? Because I am literally obsessed. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the first season of The Witcher. I don't know why. I guess it's because I played the games. I spent like hundreds of hours on The Witcher 3, and I had such high expectations for the show itself. And I didn't hate the first season, I was just underwhelmed, I guess. And the thing is, the first season also has this really weird timeline thing, which I feel like didn't really translate that well. The show felt really convoluted because there were so many things going on. But I actually appreciated the first season a lot more when I saw the recap that they had on Netflix. So on Netflix they had like this 15-minute recap of like the first season, and they did it chronologically. The show originally was, you know, like 3 different storylines that were happening all at once across 3 different timelines. Like, to be honest, that kind of ruined the immersion for me. Some people might enjoy it. It was kind of like, it didn't translate that well to me personally. But when I saw them recap it in chronological order, I actually really appreciated it. And now I really enjoy watching the second season. It actually feels a lot better than the first season. I don't know why. It also looks a lot better. I feel like a lot has been improved with the production design. I bet they probably had like double or triple the production design, because oh boy, look at the show now. It looks amazing compared to the first season. And I'm happy to see some characters that I love as well, like Geralt of Rivia, Yennefer, and Dandelion, or I believe he's called Jaskier in the TV show. So I've been really enjoying that as well. I do pace myself whenever I watch these TV shows, so I'm curious, are you guys the type of person who like binge watches TV shows, or do you like to pace yourselves like me? Oh, one thing that I actually also want to talk about is the Harry Potter reunion. Now, I haven't read the Harry Potter books. I've only read the first book, but I watched all of the Harry Potter movies when they came out, and I remember so vividly the first time I saw the very first Harry Potter film back in 2001. It was the Christmas season. Had no idea what Harry Potter was at that point. I was like 6 or 7 years old at that time, and if I'm not mistaken, that was my first time hearing an English accent. I was like, why are these people talking weird? Yeah, that was my first time hearing an actual English accent. I was like, okay, you know what? They sound weird at first, but this is weirdly attractive. I actually kind of really like this. So yeah, I have been watching Harry Potter ever since, all throughout my childhood and my teenage years. It's become kind of like a yearly tradition for me and for my cousins to watch at the cinema, because they would always release it at Christmas as well, so it's kind of become that kind of tradition. So yeah, I just feel so nostalgic seeing the cast come together for a reunion, even though I haven't actually seen the actual reunion itself. And honestly, I'm getting my hopes up for like a Harry Potter sequel slash, I don't know, maybe spin-off with the original cast, because to be honest, I haven't really gotten into Fantastic Beasts. Can anyone please tell me if that's a good movie or not? Because yeah, it looks kind of boring, to be honest, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me, and maybe I'm just more invested in the Harry Potter characters from the original series, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. But yeah, this is another one of my favorite aspects of this build actually, is the terrain manipulation, which I had a lot of fun with. So as you can see, this house does sit on a cliff, and I had to be creative here because I wanted to hide these like unsightly corners that, you know, where the terrain manipulation actually ends, because unfortunately we can't really do anything with, you know, the areas outside our lot boundaries. So sometimes it can look really awkward to have like a random mountain sprouting from the middle of the neighborhood. So I kind of tried to hide them with these like rock pieces, like these amazing rock formations that you can find in debug. And these are the exact same rock formations that come with Snowy Escapes. So these are the same ones that you should see around this world. So I tried my best to kind of match them, as well as match with the rest of the foliage as well. So you will see me do that as we get into the landscaping. But I'm really happy with how this whole terrain manipulation turned out. I really love the fact that we can just bring down the items that float on the areas where you edited the terrain with the tool mod, because thank god they look so much better if you like just bring them down a couple of inches. They just look way better. Oh, and this is another feature that I really like as well. This is an outdoor pool, which I am questioning the practicality of this, if people are actually going to be able to use this in this weather. Keep in mind, Mount Komorebi is frozen all year round. Oh, sorry, not Mount Komorebi. Just this area of Mount Komorebi is frozen all year round. I believe the other neighborhoods in this world are just normal, you know, neighborhoods that experience the 4 seasons. But yeah, we have this amazing swimming pool right here. I'd like to think of this as more like a hot spring, so I might have to put some effects to give it like, you know, the steamy effects. So yeah, I really love this. I tried to make it look like it's part of like the rock formation, if that makes sense. And what I can think of when doing this is actually like an onsen, which are, you know, traditional Japanese hot springs. For some reason, I also thought of Iceland as I was doing this, because I see so many of those like viral videos of people like bathing in like the amazing Iceland hot spring, and it looks stunning, by the way, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that's kind of like what came to mind as I was doing this, and I was really happy with how this like little pool came out. It's just a regular pool, of course, but it looks really good. I might have to throw in like a hot tub in there as well at some point. Like I said, still haven't finished furnishing this, but yeah, we'll see. If you have any suggestions as well on what I can put here to make it more interesting, please let me know, because like I said, still work in progress, and now's the time to say your suggestions if you want me to consider it being part of this build. But one thing that I actually really want to quickly talk about is that I'm finally glad to be back with a speed build video after a very brief introduction, because if you missed my last video, I did do a non-speed build video, which is like the first time I'm doing it in like literally years. I did an on-camera video, so yes, kind of a face reveal. I don't like to say face reveal because I've shown my face so many times before, but yeah, I did make an in-person video talking about my personal experience growing up playing The Sims, how it inspired me to become an architect, and basically just, you know, recapping the past 15-16 years of simming. And yeah, it was a pretty personal video as well that I wanted to share before the year ended, and I'm glad I was able to do that, and I was really happy with how the video turned out. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you might want to check it out if you want to get to know me better, that is. But yeah, I have rambled all throughout this video. I hope you all enjoyed it either way, but it looks like that's going to be it for this build. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you guys in part 2 coming really soon, fingers crossed. But once again, before I go, I just want to wish you all a very happy holidays. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.